The Circle of Knowledge podcast is brought to you by Amplified Minds, helping entrepreneurs and professionals achieve their goals and aspirations by sharing a wealth of knowledge to you, our community of achievers. This podcast features best-selling industry resources, interviews, and the professional panel discussion by the core team at Amplified Minds. Now, here are their discussions. Three, two. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. This is your host, John Kovach Jr., coming to you from the Wasatch back of Silicon Slopes, a little old town called Heber City. And today I have on the show with me a really good friend who I only met just a week and a half ago. And I actually want to share in introducing this person, the story of how I got to know them. So Marciel, he's a coach, he's a public speaker, and much more than all of that combined, and an entrepreneur at the heart, and an incredible business professional. Within moments of meeting Michael, not only were we impressed with just with what we were wearing at this networking event, but we were both excited to just be there and to share and connect and build value with people. But within few seconds of Michael opening of his mouth, he had talked about the value that he was providing for other people and what he loves to do it and why. Then we got into some conversations about what he is doing and what he's going through and what he has been through to help entrepreneurs along their journey. And I resonated with it so hardcore. I thought this guy, one, has to be on our show, and two, everyone needs to hear this message, because I know that all 15,000 of our listeners out there, you hearing this message right now, this is for you. We're going to be talking about some very, very in-depth conversations about what entrepreneurs need. So without any further ado, my good friend and this awesome relationship to build with connection and value, Michael Marciel, coach and speaker. Michael, how are you? Thank you for being on our show, and tell us a little bit more about you and your story, man.
Dude, okay, first of all, let's keep that introduction going. I could live off of that. That was amazing. Thank you for that. Yeah, you were wearing a fly shirt. We just kind of connected on how similar our styles were. Just looking real good. And yeah, I'm pumped, man. Circle of Knowledge. I hope you are ready. I'm known for being direct and real. So I like to just dive into the real stuff. You know, we're talking about entrepreneurs, we're talking about knowledge, we're talking about what it really takes to win. And I don't think there's enough people talking about the real stuff and applying that to what people are facing today. So that's why I'm here, man. I just want to drop some bombs.
And that's literally what we did in the first few seconds of meeting. Everyone listening, you need to meet Michael Marciel, an incredible relator. I do not know what your Gallup Strength Finders top 5 are, but I'm going to guess that you're beyond woo, you're beyond connector, and there's some really cool, intricate analytical stuff in there that really makes you approachable, appreciable, and people can I don't know how to say this word, malleate their connection with you faster. It's an incredible experience, and I'm just sharing it from firsthand. So I want my listeners to know this isn't a person you wanna work with. This is a person who you need to meet. And if anything, just listen to the tone of his voice, guys. Isn't it just like the voice for perfect radio or a stage voice? Like, it's amazing. I think it's fantastic. There we go. Keeping that introduction going there for you.
Yes, you were delivering. And you know what? I don't think enough is said about you, John. The feeling is mutual, man. I knew that we needed to connect, not just because we were both looking super fly, but because there's something in you that I recognize. It's like, it's not prying, but it's just very, like, it's almost methodical. It's like you're getting in, it's insightful. There's a lot of depth there. And everyone that I met at that particular event, they're like, oh, you need to know John. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's the fourth person. I've heard words like amazing and genius and all of these things. And I was like, wait a minute. So we have more in common than just our shirt, man. What up? And so, yeah, this is going to be freaking fire. So I hope people are ready. I don't even know really dive into. But introductions aside, let's just go. Let's just get into this thing.
Amazing. I'm pumped and excited just as you are. Tell us a little bit about your journey, how you came into the entrepreneurial environment. And one of the things you shared with me was your story, and I don't want to give anything away. I want to let you tell it, but tell us, and if you can read my mind here, I'm talking about sleeping in the car story. Okay. I want to talk about the real stuff that you outlined in your introduction there. Let's talk the real stuff that entrepreneurs really need to get out, and the things that they need to just talk about, get off their chest, their fears. Let's get into that. But tell us a little bit about you, your background and upbringing.
Yeah, perfect. So as of the recording of this show, 15 years ago, I was 19 years old. And I was 2 years into college, paying for it on my own. I had some help with some grants and scholarships, but two things. One, I couldn't afford it anymore. And so I told myself, I was like, college isn't for me. It turns out I would have finished, could I have afforded it? So I ended up leaving school after 2 years of a massive amount of debt for this private university I went to. And I kind of fell into entrepreneurship. It felt right, but I didn't choose it really on purpose. It was just kind of happenstance. And I think for me, I discovered a lot. I started to consult these small companies as a side note, just because I really just wanted to help people. And I saw an opportunity where somebody needed help with their business. And I was like, well, I'm not doing anything. So let's do this thing together. I've got the time, I've got the energy. Let's make this thing happen. YouTube was brand new at the time. Facebook had just then shortly came out really to the masses. And I just remember getting really in love with the online world. We dove into YouTube. We started getting massive exposure there in a time where the word viral wasn't a word. Our videos had about 2.5 million views. And amassed, as you can imagine, a byproduct of that was sales of the product that we were trying to sell. And I realized that I had that ability, like you said, to kind of just relate. And bigger than that, just talk about the real stuff. I wanted to ask the questions like, what is it that you really need? I heard what you said you wanted. I get that, but what is it that you really need? And I got the answers, and I put out more content that really spoke to that. And that yielded sales. At the very end of that yielded sales when I was able to talk about that real stuff. So that was like the one aha I had. I was like, oh my gosh, I could be really good at this. And eventually we sold that company, and I leveraged that success to work with bigger and bigger companies until my last consulting client, they were doing $300 to $400 million a year. And I say 300 to 400 because that was the shift that happened in the 4 years that I worked with them. $100 million plus on top of what they were doing. And so what happened though, this is what that's the highlight reel, and everyone's like, oh, dang, I haven't done that in my past. And that's usually we reserve that for social media. Okay. Now let's get real. Okay. Here's where the story and the narrative shifts. So for me, this is now 5.5 years ago. So I was at that thing for like 9 years of just consulting and working with these businesses. And what I found was that I kind of had found my life and my everything, my identity just by happenstance. It was just kind of like I was just kind of flowing through life, and I found these opportunities, and they were good opportunities, but they also weren't 100% me. And maybe this will make sense, but like maybe we've taken on things, identities or jobs or a title that just really isn't us. It's heavy, and we can only do that thing for so long before we experience burnout. And not that we don't experience burnout or a dip in the road or just like we're tired energy wise, even if we're in the thing that we love, that's going to happen. But like burnout is different. It's like, I can't do this anymore. And I experienced that. But what we know now is that that's a symptom of something else. And for me, it was just a missing identity. I didn't really know who I was. Once I gave up consulting, well, no longer was I the young, hotshot, super attractive, handsome, modest, humble consultant dude. No, I wasn't that dude anymore. no longer was I the family guy because I just went through a divorce immediately after leaving the career, you know? And so the two big titles I put on myself, the two big labels I had were now gone. And so now I mean, not only did I not have those things, but like now, like what's my favorite food? Who are my friends? Like, what do I do on a weekday? Like, what do I, like, I don't even know who I am. Long story short, this is what happened. And this is what I've learned is that the next 12 months, okay, the next really 12 months, I was in a real funk, a real depression. I wasn't living. I just wasn't, you know, in any sense of the word, relationally, energetically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, I was depleted. You know, I was gone. I was just a shell of a human. I was just kind of going through the motions. And if you look back, like, this is the funny thing, like, even at the dinner that we met at, and I think I may have pointed this out, but there was another gentleman there that was with me during those same times. He had no idea. He still saw me networking. He still saw me posting on social media. You know, we're becoming friends.
Right.
And here I am now, like, losing my apartment, no cell phone service, you know, getting the eviction notice on the door, sleeping in my car, and nobody's the wiser. Why? Because I wasn't willing to say anything. I was holding on to my pride like an anchor, my ego, right? Like all of those things, like I couldn't let the mask off, that things weren't working out so great. And here's what I learned really quickly is that those things that I think are really important, like when I walk into the gym and I'm not looking so great and I think everybody's looking at me, well, what's happening literally is in every single person's brain, they're comparing themselves to what they're looking at, not that they're judging what they're seeing. And like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're looking at my extra chunky side that I've been trying to work on. Oh my gosh, I don't have the you know, the high-end shorts that everyone's wearing or whatever. Like, that's on us. Nobody's thinking about, like, so in reality, I could have let all that stuff go and reached out to my friends and say, hey, like, I'm in a weird place. Things are falling apart. I don't know what to do next. I need help. I didn't do any of that. And so I loved the misery I was feeling, and I held on to it until I saw it. And I hit, you know, like I said, in all intents and purposes, I hit my rock bottoms.
Wow. And getting a little bit more detailed than when we were chatting at that event, that is quite the journey. And I love that you shared that, because that is something that every entrepreneur needs to hear. It is something that entrepreneurs relate to, because they're all in the same circumstances. We all have to pay bills. We all have to work. We all have to make a living, as well as maintain relationships, life. One thing that I am very, very bad at, though you couldn't tell when you meet me, I've definitely rounded out a little bit, is I forget to eat when I'm stressed. I forget to even consume the things my body needs. And there's just so many things that are triggered by the emotional stress and the stress behind entrepreneurism. And I think that you touched that so beautifully in your story and your example. And thank you for being vulnerable and honest and coming to that realization, and then being willing to share it with our community and with people in general, because holy cow, if people would just learn to just open up and share the real sides of themselves, the natural, the primitive side of being human, people relate to that. And I think that that's why we love the stories that we do when we read books or when we watch television. You know, we're not all, and you described it perfectly, we're not all judging them, essentially, and that's not to say for everybody, but we're not all judging them, we're comparing ourselves. And we do that when we watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. We do that when we watch TV shows, or we do that when we're going to the gym at the least. And all of that together combined is adding to that emotional stress. It is adding to the let's call it the depression levels that you're creating on yourself. Now, Michael, how do entrepreneurs take that and move on? Like, what's the next step? We've hit rock bottom. Okay, we're sleeping out of our car. We may have experienced divorce or just some of the most incredibly painful experiences of mortal life emotionally. Where do they go? What do they do after that?
So this is an interesting question. to me, because what I've recognized is that everybody, like for example, my rock bottom was now sleeping in my car, not being able to take care of my daughter, right? Like, and that goes back to my childhood of not having a dad growing up, and knowing how that affected me in many ways. And here I am, I have the ability to be in my daughter's life, and I'm like, gosh, like our weekend, I can't even have you overnight. Like we can't have the same fun weekend that we usually have because I don't have my apartment anymore. That's pretty lame, But having said that, somebody else's rock bottom could be, that they're addicted to painkillers, that they are going bankrupt because they're addicted to fill in some blank, right? Somebody else's rock bottom could be that they could be ending their life today, right? That's somebody else's rock bottom. I recognize that we all have different rock bottoms. I also recognize that it can all feel very similar. It can all, feel very similar, like we're losing everything today, tomorrow, And so I want to recognize that my story, like in hindsight, I'm like, man, I was still alive. I was pulling little, anything I could do to make it happen. And I think in that, I learned a lesson. And this is what I want to share with others, is that I desperately wanted to help others. That's something that was just kind of innate. Like I felt like there was some bigger purpose to why I was here. I don't think everybody feels that. I do feel like entrepreneurs feel that. I feel like, yeah, we want to make a ton of money. Yeah, we want to hit the 7 figures. We want to get in the 2 comma club. Yeah, we want to do tens of millions. Yeah, we want to make the money, but we also want to help people. And ultimately, we want to live up to the potential that we know that exists inside of us. So I think that is a common theme. And if that's true that we want to live up to these things, well, I propose that right now, when we're in that moment, like take a look at all the negative results that we have created, like that, we have to take some accountability for that, the responsibility behind that. But there's also a power in that for me. I was looking at myself in the rear view mirror right before picking up my daughter, and I was like, you know what? This might be a circumstance that you created for yourself, but this isn't who you are. You got to remember that. They're 2 separate things. Are you going to go sleep downtown at the park with everyone else that has given up completely? Or is that you for real? Can you honestly say that? And of course I could. And I was like, I'm a badass. Like, think about all these cool things. Remember when, right? Like, I don't want to be like the ex-football guy that like got injured and never went to the NFL, and he's 49 years old and like, oh, I used to be the star quarterback. I don't want to be that dude, but there's an air of that. Like, that person is still that quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, there's still the leadership qualities. There's still, the mindset that goes behind that. For me, I had to just touch base with who I used to be and the brilliance that I saw there, although I wasn't maybe doing exactly what I loved. So here's where it gets really practical for me anyway. I had to look at all of the gross stuff that I had created for myself and realize if I'm as powerful as I am, like, to create this, I then can create the exact opposite. And I don't even know, like, that was the scary part, because I'd never done that before. I'd never really fully stepped into that powerful place on the positive side. I was good at like beating myself down. I really was. I was great at that, but I never really started to focus my attention, my mind, my power, my knowledge, my everything towards this other thing, and really gave it everything that it deserved. And so for me, how do we make this shift is really the question. And first, we just have to be aware. We have to be aware that we are able, capable, competent to do the thing. Okay. It doesn't matter what the external looks like. You might be doing 10 million a year right now in your business. You might have just brought on a VC. You might have just brought on a partner. You might have just started your business. You may be, 20 years down the road, serial entrepreneur, 15 businesses, successfully has exited 4 of them, and you don't really have to work again, but yet you still feel that pressure. Like, you can be on any spectrum of this journey here. But the reality is that all of us, because we're human, we feel this, especially when we are aware of how much potential we have. Because maybe we just never catch that thing. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's always the carrot. Maybe that's the thing that's supposed to drive us to greater and greater things. I don't know. I'm just one regular dude, right? But here's what I've learned is that we get to take some accountability. If we really believe that we're that powerful, if we can take a look at all the shit in our life right now and say, I did that. Like, that was me. That is power then. You have power, okay? And if you can believe that you created that, then you can also have faith that you can create something wildly different, even if you've never done it before. And that right there is a piece that I feel like a lot of us are missing. We're focused on funnels. We're focused on logos. We're focused on email marketing. We're focused on our Facebook group. We're focused on the next seminar. We're focused on the thing. We're focused on being the right person and the perfect person and all these things. But none of that is really important. A lot of times people ask, like, Michael, you speak on a lot of big stages. That's weird. Like, you're just a regular guy. You know, you're not that smart. You're not that handsome or tall, but you're speaking on stage with freaking sharks from Shark Tank. You're on podcasts with like Gary Vee and Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and all these other names. You're the most regular though. So I don't understand this. And I'm just saying, like, I just recognize how freaking powerful I am, and I believe it. I believe that I'm meant for that thing. And so right now, like, if you're feeling the pressure, you know, we may have heard this phrase, and I know I'm talking a lot, John, I'll stop here in a second, but the pressure that we feel at whatever stage, whatever point of the journey that you're on, it's there to show you something. It's there to expose the cracks, okay? It doesn't create the crack, it exposes the leak, okay? So now that we can see it, the coolest thing is just looking at the leak, understanding it's there, and doing something about it. Like, there is no right answer here. I don't believe there's not like the magic formula to say, do this, do this, do this. But I'm just saying, now that you have the pressure, you are in a better position to better see where you can level up. Okay. You see the crack. Great. Put your finger on it. That's the first thing you'll probably put your finger on it. Realize that that's not a long-term solution. Okay. Now that we've realized that, what is the next logical thing I can do? Oh my gosh, let me grab some duct tape. Let me get some Gorilla Glue. Let me go back to that infomercial I saw with that magic tape that fixes everything. Okay, now we have the ability to create. We see the problem. We're good at creating problems. We should be great at solving them too. So now we see the thing. Let's get to work on that. Put your attention on the movement forward, and you will start to win. It could be that small win of fixing that one little leak. That one little leak increases the pressure in the pipe. The pressure in the pipe, you know what the water is doing on the other end of that thing? It's coming out of fire hose. You know what I mean? Like, we're building something here. And when we start to move the momentum that way, the direction of our dream, the direction of what we want, then things start to change. We start to change. Things start to change. We start to change. Things start to change. And it's just this really cool upward spiral momentum that we get to carry into everything.
And for those of you listening, you now know why I wanted so badly to have Michael on our show, because the value that he brings through his voice and his knowledge and his experience and story is a giant snowball that just keeps getting bigger. Every minute and second you get to listen to him, the value behind what he's saying just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I appreciate you saying so. Whenever you feel like you're talking too much, don't worry. Keep talking, my friend. It is so important. I wanted to touch too on something. You mentioned that when we are focused on the wrong things, right? I had a conversation with a great coach on the show a couple months ago, and we talked about how there really is, if you get to the nitty-gritty of things, there really is no right or wrong, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're using Wix or WordPress. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what Michael just said. What are you doing today to progress and to move? And then how are you using your strengths? And I love that you mentioned problem solving, because I used to coach my peers in college. I used to say, hey, give me $50 and I'll fix your LinkedIn. But I used to coach them on how to develop their resumes. And one of the things that I learned, the biggest thing is showing, not saying, oh, I'm a problem solver or I solved this problem. People want to know how you solved them and what the outcome was. And that is literally how Hollywood is a multi-trillion-dollar business, because they take the story of how someone solved a problem or overcame a challenge, and that is it. That is all people care about. So if you can be as vulnerable enough to share your successes through the problems and the challenges, use your strengths and grow from there, you do exactly what Michael just explained to you, which is, overcoming that thing and then finding success beyond the little details that really just don't matter. And I love that you said that, because that is a topic that needs to be hit on more. And it's also something that we know people are thinking about today. People are constantly stressed about, oh my gosh, I gotta make sure I gotta engage with 30 people on social media, and make sure I post once and post twice, and make sure my content, make sure I'm like above my, whatever. It just doesn't matter. Go watch Ty Lopez. You'll be frustrated with his videos, but you'll still walk away with value, right? It is insanely amazing. So again, I wanted to thank you for that. That was an amazing concept. And I hope that what I said spurred more information. I can see him gearing up for another conversation, because there's some good golden nuggets in that. But from there, I'd like to turn it back and ask you, what is like one golden nugget as people face these challenges, as they're overcoming those and trying to solve problems in their life? What is one golden nugget piece of knowledge that you can share with them that will help?
Ooh, I'm just over here just pacing, because this is really good. You guys take some notes, listen to this again and again, because this is coming, I love context. And, although I don't like to talk too much about myself, I'm not big into bragging, but I am into giving context. A lot of this comes from the struggle, the pit, right? And, the only reason I feel like I'm even equipped to talk about it is because not only did I live through it, I put in the work first. I had to put in the work. There's nothing more frustrating to me. And if you're one of these people, then, I am talking to you. I want it to be that direct. But there's nothing more frustrating to me than seeing somebody speak on stage or on a live, or just in general, just in life. And these people that they get up and they've got something like a vulnerable story, and they immediately break down and cry. Okay. To me, I think that's sweet. I get emotional about certain things, but I believe there's a wisdom behind putting in the work first. There's a lot of times I see them trying, right? You might be listening to this, and the first thing you do is you turn this off, you go live on Facebook, and you tell your story about whatever it is. But here's the danger in that, and something that we're seeing now, and in a very different way. So we see people, entrepreneurs, gurus, people that are quote unquote successful, that I jump on the phone with now. They're now my peers. I used to look up to them. Now they're my peers. We jump on the call, and they ask me the question, Michael, I put on a good show. I'm a good talker, right? I've worn the mask for too long. My business isn't what I think it is. It's not what I say it is. And I'm giving out real information to people that are eating it up, trying it, and they're failing, and I know I'm failing them. Okay? I want that to sink in for a second, because it really is just the let's call it 3 years down the road person that hasn't put in the real work on themselves and their business. They really haven't put that work into to try the theory that they have, to put into motion, the thoughts or the theories that they're putting out into the world. And this is what it looks like 3 years down the road, when somebody's like, gosh, I have this vulnerable story. I'm just going to go live and tell people I'm hurting right now. I'm going to bleed all over them, and I'm just going to do it. It's not serving anyone. So when I see that person, they go live and immediately they just break down. I'm like, okay, this might be beneficial for them. Okay, this might be beneficial for them on their journey, but please don't bring that out right now. For real, put in some work. Understand that thing is tender, that childhood memory, the thing that happened last year, the breakup, the divorce, the death or the loss of somebody, the losing of the job. Think about those big things, the things that you're holding on to right now. They're there to teach you a lesson. And if we're able to just take some time and to dive into that thing for real, instead of ignoring it and just allowing it to just persist, why don't we just look at it a little bit closer? Understand that those hurts are there to allow us to learn something. We can really, if we really wanted to. So when I'm sleeping in my car, feeling down about life and everything, and literally I could have just taken or leaving. I could have just left. I could have thrown in the towel, in the cosmic way, and I wouldn't have, it wouldn't be a hard decision. It wouldn't be contemplative. It'd be hey, should I like go to McDonald's and use Wi-Fi and try to build a business? Or should I just like run my car off a cliff? Like, I can't really just like, I could just whatever the wind blows, I'm just there. And that taught me some things. I had to go through, if I really believed that I wanted to be there for my daughter, if I really believed that I had potential that was unfulfilled yet, and I had the ability to step into that, if I really believed that, then I could now act in faith in advance. I wasn't going to wait for somebody to tell me I could do it. I wasn't waiting for the permission slip. I wasn't waiting until like things got even worse. I wasn't going to wait anymore. I was done waiting. You know, I was done not talking about the real thing. I just wasn't there. And so I had to go through my own journey to learn these things. And yeah, the business, 5-figure work week, everyone's talking about making money and things like that. But for me, like, making money is the same as making impact. And I do those things together. They have to exist together for me. One, because I get to pay the bills, right? I got my team I got to take care of. I got my daughter. I got myself. Hello, that guy exists too. And I love to impact people. That's why I'm here, right? That's why since 7 a.m., 3 podcasts later, an hour and a half conversation on my hour and a half break to talk to one of my friends that also is going through entrepreneurial depression. Like, this is really important to me. Okay, this is super, super important to me. But I had to put in the work first. I had to put my finger on the leaky pipe to realize that wasn't the solution. Okay, let's figure this thing out. And then before I knew it, I was moving in the right direction. Everything was kind of working. And then once I tested this thing out, I mean, sure, life has a funny way of, like, when we say we're going to do something, we want the thing, it throws a nice little test at us to make sure. Like, crazy. Like, even recently, like, I told myself, I was like, man, I want a woman in my life who is powerful, strong, motivated, driven, pushes me even, and vice versa. Guess what happened? The worst thing happened. She existed, and she came into my life, and she's pushing me, and it's uncomfortable, and it's the best thing ever. But life does that. So if you really want the thing, allow the test to show up and crush the test, do the thing, but learn, document it if you have to, however you learn best. Literally take notes on this thing, because a year from now, John a year from now, Michael a year from now, we've got notes for Kevin back there, right? We can we got the proverbial rope that we can throw down to him. Say, yo, this actually helps. Do this thing. But when we don't do that, right? When we don't put in our work and we're just like, you know what? Life is shitty. I hate everything. My business doesn't work. I'll just be a business coach. I'll just tell people how to run their business. I'll tell them how to run ads. I'll tell them how to make a course. Like, when we start to dump into that stuff, and really we're starting to create, which is really, it's a powerful place to be in when you're creating content. When you're creating content based on nothing, guess what happens to everyone that follows you? Guess what happens eventually down the road? You could make $1 million. That's fine. Like, you could actually do that on air, especially right now. But then we get everything that's the fallout. We get the now hundreds of people that are dissatisfied with their coaching experiences. We get people talking about how they will never hire a coach. They won't be a coach. And then we get something really interesting. People that are fed up enough to say, you know what? I don't want another coach like that to exist. So I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to get out as well as I can. I'm going to impact people. I'm going to make a ton of money while I'm doing it. And I'm going to show people how it's really done. Now, see how powerful, like, that disadvantage could be your ultimate advantage. So I'm just saying, like, let's just flip the script a little bit. Understand that your disadvantage right now, quote unquote, is your ultimate lesson, right? The stew may not taste great. Whatever you just put in there may not be it may not be fully ready, and you're still tasting it. And you're wondering why it's not fully ready. It's the law of gestation. Like, it's taking time to bake. Like, give it the time and the space, but stick to that game. Like, this game is built for you. And eventually that stew tastes amazing, right? Like, it comes to fruition, and it's something that you can serve to your people for real. You know, there's a lot of people serving some smelly stews out there, right? And we just don't need it anymore. So anyway, John, you need to cut me off. Like, you just need to cut me off.
Dude, there was so much gold in what you just said, and amazing. Like I'm sitting here taking notes thinking, okay, I need to talk about this, but you went back and you recycled all of that information. I think that is so valuable for our listeners. And if you are listening to this right now, play this back over a couple times because you need to catch all of that information. One of the things that I wanted to go back to, which was kind of what we wanted to discuss as a challenge that we're going to issue to you as our listeners, which was, do the work, do the basics, go through the process and focus on yourself. I love that was his message and his issued challenge to all of us, because wow, that alone will get you on the right path to the success you're searching for. And as a result of that, talk about the stuff that matters, but share your stories openly. And I love that you said that, because we are in a constant battle when we jump on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. They're on a constant battle to weed out the crap from the good. Okay. And honestly, I want to jump on a channel that has all good. That used to be LinkedIn for me. Now LinkedIn's kind of catching on to the world, right? So, but all in all, there are places to provide the value that you can share. Now, don't go in it, just unload on everyone, but go into it with tact, strategy, and put in the work. I love that. So that's kind of our challenge today to you listeners, is to, do the work, but do the basics. Go through the fundamentals, learn those, massage those muscles, because I promise you, science has proven when I do this 100 times a day, this grows, right? That grows every time. And the less I do it, it shrinks actually. So there's no progression or stagnant, there's just digression. So I love that. Michael, this is incredible. And I think there are so many nuggets that you and I could talk about and go down 100 different directions, because the value in all of that is there. How do our listeners get a hold of you? What is the way that they can reach out to you and have these conversations with you one-on-one, and learn more about your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a lot of crazy theories out there. Don't go to my website. Don't go to, it's got the information, but hit me up on Facebook. Like, let's connect for real. Shoot me a message. If I'm full on friends, let me know, and I'll kick out my 5th grade bully. I don't know why he's still there anyway. Like, let's connect for real. Let's have a real conversation. I think that's what it's all about. Community is everything, especially if we're talking about entrepreneurial depression and the funky stuff. I mean, we can also talk about the amazing stuff, right? But let's connect for real. That's how I prefer it.
Love it. And one other thing I wanted to add to the message of entrepreneurial depression, but just to relate to our entrepreneur friends out there. Look, every entrepreneur can relate that we've built 100 businesses in our brains. We've built so many incredible, amazing ideas. The principle goes back to putting in the time and working. And Michael is the perfect person to chat with, because he has not only the story, but the experience, the knowledge, and then the strategy on how to overcome that and to pursue forward. He's got an incredible company. And would you just take a few minutes to just share with you kind of the stuff you're working on the back end? And then I know that you had something you wanted to share with our audience members, a gift that you'd like to give to them that I'd love to hear more about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So 5-figure work week. A lot of people do the numbers in their brain. They're 5 figures. That's $10,000 or more in a work week. What? Now, some people are like, okay, that's like small fries, and I totally get it. Like that's true. Eventually, it'll be 6, maybe a 7-figure work week. I don't know. But this is where I'm at. 5-figure work week. And so my hope, my dream, my vision is to provide a community. For all of us to talk about the real stuff. I think we're not doing that really enough. I think, gone are the days of like, hey, John, how's it going? Oh, good. How are you? Yeah, good. All right, man. Bye. I think those days are over. And I think we're entering into like John, how are you, like, for real? Like, that's the day that's coming. And I've already prepared. So we put this community together on Facebook. It's called 5-Figure Workweek, the community. It's not expensive, but it is exclusive. It's invite only. It's got to be the right people. It's not a spammy place. A lot of just really good people, like people that you're probably already connected to. They're in the community. And we do a lot of fun things, Q&As, live trainings, interviews. We have interviews from like people like Tom Bilyeu from Quest Nutrition Impact Theory. John Lee Dumas, like the grandfather of podcasting, and some other really good people like Michael Marciel, like he's in there too, and he's in there. And it's a really cool community. It's $5 a month, and it's more than worth that. I mean, gosh, I went to get an iced coffee the other day, and it was like $5.18, and I was like, okay, all right. So I think I'm providing more value than an iced coffee. That's good. But here's the thing. The other side of that coin is that if you are still listening to this and you were like, wow, that's cool. Yes, I identify, or man, I might be there now. Then I want to gift that to you forever. On me, you get full access to the community. You just shoot me a message on Facebook. I guess that's the easiest way. And I'll give you my secret password to get in. That's what I'd love to give to your community, John.
Amazing. And wow, I can't wait to be part of that. And I'll probably just pay, but giving it to my audience here, please take him up on that. And the best way to reach him is his personal Facebook. Look up Michael Marciel on Facebook. You will see him. He's hard to miss. Probably the most handsome guy on there as Michael Marciel. In fact, here's one other thing I wanted to share about Michael, and just kind of going back to the introduction we gave to him. He mentioned I don't know if you recognize this, but you mentioned a little bit about your height. You said you're not the tallest guy in the room, right? But the truth behind this is you've heard his voice. And if you're watching the video channel, you're going to see his face and you're going to think this guy's 7 feet tall, just the way he talks and the way he walks. And what I love about that is when I first met him, yeah, he was shorter than me, which we're all kind of short people anyways. Though he was shorter than me, I didn't see him that way because of the energy he brought and the information and the conversations we had. And we were digging each other's shirts that night. I'm telling you guys, you got to see those shirts. At that time, I thought he was 7 feet tall. And I believe that that's what you're going to find when you meet him too. So go on Facebook, connect with Michael Marciel, find out how tall he really is, and get involved in his 5-figure Workweek group. This is a group that he's given to you to experience the content and so forth. And that is so valuable. And we are grateful beyond reason, Michael, for you to offer that to our audience. This is something that we do with a lot of our guest speakers. We ask, is there anything you'd like to give? And you'd be amazed at what people provide. I mean, that is priceless beyond measure. So thank you for providing that. And again, thank you for being on the show. This will not be the last time. Again, I keep saying this because the value you provided, we could have gone down 600 different directions to teach the principles that are being issued here. And I appreciate that. And then what an incredible discussion. Any last words or thoughts for our community, things that they should know in regards to the entrepreneurial lifestyle, and what would you advise them to do?
Yeah, my final words are this, is that you're not alone in this thing. Whether it's going amazing or it could be better, you're not alone. And you know, it goes back to that challenge, like do the work, put in some time, put in some effort on yourself. That's the best investment. You want to take care of your family, take care of yourself. You want to impact more people, take care of yourself. You want to leave a legacy, take care of yourself. And part of that, I believe, you know, if we want to dive into that word legacy, is like sharing your story, sharing what's real. Put in the work first and share those aha moments. That's really part of the challenge. Like, do something about this. Like, let's do the work for ourselves first. Let's show that you know, we're taking our own medicine, so to speak, and then administer the medicine to everyone else. Like, just put it out there. So my final words is that you're not alone. Come, you know, even John, you've got a phenomenal just air about you, your community, everything you're doing here with the show. Like, gosh, you're already part of something really amazing. If you're still listening, then come and join the 5-figure Workweek community. There's almost 3,500 of us just in there, just giving, growing, equipping ourselves to go out into the world and just crush it, do really cool things. And so yeah, just know that you're not alone. Community is there for you. There's too many people out there that are stuck and afraid. They're waiting for you to say something about it. That's what they're waiting for. And so take it up. Just equip yourself, get armed, and go out there and do some battle.
And to kind of wrap things up here, Michael, I wanted to share a little vulnerability from my end to my listeners. In preparation for this conversation, I had reached out to Michael and said, hey, I resonated with your story so hard. And I think that every entrepreneur will, because we're all just needing to learn how to admit what we're actually going through and the crap that we're weeding through. But I opened up just a little bit without giving Michael any specifics. I was kind of inching into my, giving him kind of my background, and mentioned how I was struggling with a few things in my entrepreneurial ventures, which, yes, I'm a successful business owner. I am very, very, let's just say this, I'm having a lot of fun. But at the same time, fun doesn't always mean I can pay the bills, right? So I mentioned this to Michael, and then he sent me one of the most beautiful 2-minute voice messages. You know how on iPhones or whatever you can send a little clip of audio? He sent that to me, and he gave me the exact same message, not word for word, more customized to me, but he shared with me something that really made me feel good. He said, "You're not alone. And all you entrepreneurs out there, all you business owners, you are not alone. We are all in a state of some sort of entrepreneurial struggle that can be resolved. And it just needs to be resolved with the right tact, the right people, and the right influences." The 5-figure work week, those are great influences. Not necessarily the support group for that particular stuff, but we're looking at you to join to be part of a contributing content creation process. And that's what these guys are all about. And so I am grateful for that. Thank you again, Michael, and I appreciate you. And we're just going to get off the phone here, and we're going to schedule the next time we can get you on and get together, because, again, incredible value. Thank you for your gift to our audience, and as well as all the knowledge that you shared. Way to bring it back to the circle of knowledge that we can share with the world, which is up for the taking, so graspable that you can emulate it in your life and create immediate change where you're standing today. And I think that's the message that everyone needs to hear.
Boom. John, thank you for having me, dude. This was amazing. We're doing it again.
We're coming back to you from another
Round
time
two.
and another place.
Round two.
And next time, maybe we'll just do it in person, because wherever you're standing, it looks like your home office. We need to go there. That looks really fun.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool here. We've got some space. Actually, you know what? We should totally do it, and we'll do it in the backyard. It's beautiful.
Ooh, even better. I love that. Fantastic. Well, thank you again for joining us on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. I am your host, John Kovacs Jr. with Amplified Minds. Joining me today in the most beautiful conversations about entrepreneurial depression and overcoming those challenges in your life, Michael Marciel, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, founder of one of the founders and partners of 5-Figure Workweek, and we are grateful that you have joined us. Thanks for being a member of the community of achievers. Hey, this is John with Amplified Minds. Thanks again for listening to the show. We really hope you enjoyed the Circle of Knowledge podcast. If you like the Circle of Knowledge podcast, go ahead, subscribe, rate us, and if you give us a 5-star review, we promise to give you a personal shout out here on the air. Just watch us. You can also engage with us a little bit more through social media. On any channel, you can just find us at Amplified Minds. To learn more about Amplified Minds, go to our website at amplifiedminds.com. That's amplifiedminds.com. Through our website, you can join any one of our mastermind groups from anywhere in the world. In the mastermind groups, you and other members of the community of achievers can mastermind and talk about all of your aspirations, your dreams, your goals, and even the challenges you face. Whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or anything else, you can achieve your goals through a mastermind group. You should also check out the Amplified Minds Accountability Program, where you can gain access to a one-on-one personal accountability coach, somebody who will contact you weekly and motivate you, hold you accountable, follow up, and give you the proper resources that will help you to go out and achieve all your goals. Hey, shout out to all you coaches, speakers, mentors, the superheroes of the world. We have the perfect program for you and your audiences. We have the capabilities of setting your audience and communities up in private mastermind groups and assign them a one-on-one personal accountability coach where they can help your people achieve the things that they're working towards, tailored to your programs. For more information about this, go ahead and send me an email at John, that's Jon, at amplifiedminds.com. I look forward to hearing from you.